Yo, what is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 400. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
Sup, people? How's it going?
Chris Seeley.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Carlos Romero.
Yo. And by the way, but from an undisclosed location, Mr. Emilio Lopez.
Yes, we'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah.
We got Brett Murdoch in the house.
Welcome to our completely ordinary episode.
Yes. Brian Manjoma.
What up?
All right, and we got two very special guests to celebrate this episode, this 400th episode of Throwdown. First up, we got one of the originators of Throwdown, one of the original Throwdown trio, as it were, although we don't talk about that other guy anymore. We got the one, the only one, Mr. Riku-san one.
What's good, everyone? What's
up?
What's up?
You know that guy.
Right. Yeah, you know that. You know, if you don't know. All right, let me stop. And, of course, we have the man who helped with the bringing up of the second iteration of Throwdown, really helped kickstart this podcast on our second journey, which we're now celebrating 400 episodes of, Mr. Richard Bailey Jr. from the Coalition.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, man. And of course, I want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat right now and everybody who will be joining. We do this for you guys, man. Pretty crazy that we're celebrating 400 episodes of this shit. We never stop. Keep going, you know. We're like the Energizer Bunny. You know?
Hey, stop.
By the way, full disclosure, and I'm putting this man on blast right now. I'm doing it. So I wanted to have Torrance Davis, the guy who gave us all of our starts in one way or another, right? But he was doing his usual trolling shit. I texted this man, and he's like, "Who is this?" I'm like, "It's Tony, man. What the fuck?" And he's like, "What are you talking about?" He's laughing off. I'm like, "Okay." So, you know, Torrance is on some bullshit, so no Torrance Davis, so we'll try to get him on. And I also wanted to have Hip Hop Gamer on, but my man is busy with PAX. He was actually willing to be on tonight from the road. I'm like, you know what? Let's save this for episode 401, you know, because I want you nice and refreshed. So Hip Hop Gamer will be on, you know, another person that really helped us out in the beginning and stuff. Had a nice long talk with him because it's been a while, you know, because we would always see each other at shows and stuff, but then like with the Rona, no shows happen. But yeah, it's good stuff. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man,
Hip Hop's a good dude.
Yeah, Hip Hop. Yep. Yeah, he's the man. Or shout out to him. Well, we'll have him on, and you know it's gonna get wild as always. You know. But yeah, a couple of things here. Before we get into it, Manny, where the hell are you?
Speaking of PAX, I am in Seattle, Washington. Yes, I'm out here doing my thing with my team. So we had a little bit of a company outing, and so we're just going to go to the PAX.
Nice. Is it raining right now?
No, it is not. It actually it was cloudier this morning, but it hasn't rained. Rain doesn't seem to start until like maybe November, possibly in September. You know. But today was the first cloudy day. And by the way, it's been hot. It's been hot over here too. It's been in like the 80s, close to 90s a couple of days. A lot of people around here are really like, oh my God, I went to visit my friend, a friend here in Washington, and she's all like, "Oh my God, it's for some reason this year it's been stupidly hot." So yeah,
no, that's crazy. Yeah, when we went to Seattle, it was around this time. It wasn't that bad, you know.
No, it wasn't summer. It was like we were in fall at that point.
Yeah, no, but I remember it was September. It wasn't like deep fall.
It was like mid to end of September.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Fergus Mills, subscribe. Fergus Mills, the savior of Throwdown. Hooked it up with some PlayStation 5s when all that craziness was going on.
You didn't get an Xbox from him?
We probably could have, but but shout out to Fergus Mills as always. Shout out to Barry Burton who gifted that subscription to him, and for always holding it down, man. Shout out to everyone.
Yeah, man. Other things before we start. Rich, man, we haven't had you on in a little bit, man. What's been going on with you? What's going on with the coalition? What's happening with life, man?
Well, I would say that life has been pretty good. It's been a very busy time of the year with the summer. obviously, yeah, we are working on quite a bit of things at the coalition. There's some things that I can't talk about because some stuff happening later this month that I'll be able to talk about. But for the most part, yeah, we're still doing our thing. We're covering the video games. I did review a controversial video game that we are going to talk a little bit about tonight.
Whoa!
So I will have something to say about that.
Is it the last of that specific game?
It could be the last of that specific game unless they decide to make another remake.
Right, for the third time,
we'll see.
You know?
Yes.
Don't put it past anybody. So is this a little controversial?
We'll get into it. We'll get into it.
We'll definitely get into it.
It's not very.
Yeah. No. So yeah, and the coalition's on like.
I got it, Brett. I got it.
Yeah, I went over my head. But Rich, the coalition is big on the come up, man. With all the stars you guys are interviewing and everything, pretty dope.
Oh yeah. Well, I do want to give a shout out to Dana Abercrombie. She's been doing a lot of those interviews. And of course, we've been doing pretty good as far as covering some of the TV shows like Power, Snowfall, etc. We have been asked about covering Game of Thrones and this Lord of the Rings show, but we'll see about that in the future. I mean, it all depends. I don't really know how many people are interested in both of those shows. Game of Thrones, obviously, but we'll see. But yeah, overall, it's been a good but very busy summertime.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, it's funny. Dana hit me up wanting to know if I wanted to partake in the podcast you guys are doing for those. I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. You know, I don't need to be watching those shows. Oh, Manny, real quick, Fergus Mill says if you want to grab some Korean food with him, hit him up.
Well, we'll see, man.
You know,
I got a couple of different plans, you know, with my team. So I'll see where the openings are on my schedule, but I'm gonna be here probably till Monday afternoon, and then I'm flying out. So
yeah, there's some cool stuff you can't talk about at the moment, but you're having fun out there. You're having fun.
Yeah, I've been having a pretty good time with the folks on the team. Just this makes a big difference in, you know, when you're developing something that, you know, that you get to, you know, especially since all of us are sort of working remotely. So yeah, it's good stuff.
Nice.
Yo, man, shout out to Barry Burton making it rain
tonight, man. Celebrating episode 400, you know, and I'm glad he's doing that because this is one, and I'll just be completely honest because I've been busy with work, but that's also good that I haven't really had a chance to like plan a giveaway. So that's the giveaway right now because we usually give away a game, but there's no games right now. So, like, I kind of can't get blamed for that either. There's nothing to fucking give out. There's nothing happening right now.
Don't blame me, man.
Yeah, you know, but we'll try to give you something. But thank you, Barry, for that, man. You know, we'll give some back to the community as we always
Tony,
do.
I got an idea. Ask me later.
Oh, sure. I'll ask you later. And Riku, what's been going on with you, man? I know you have the opposite problem, right? You've been playing too many games.
Yeah, man, I've been fucking flooded with video games over here to be playing. But I've been actually working a lot, so doing a lot of overtime over here and whatnot. But I you know, when Tony hit me with the man, episode 400 tonight, baby boy. I was like, oh shit, let's fucking go. But no, I was if not for this episode, I probably would be drilling some Xenoblade Chronicles 3. My current game of the year. The game's fucking heat.
Like, ain't got no platinum though.
You know, see about that, Tony, man. Sometimes you gotta, you know, chill out on the trophies, man. Sometimes, you've lately. Sometimes you play a game that doesn't have trophies, and you're like, man, I don't have to worry about grabbing any trophies. I could just play the game, and when the credits are done, I could put it down if I want to. So you know, I got, yeah.
Welcome to the dark side.
Yeah, you're just like. It's a little sense of relief, but it's always nice to see that ding. But we don't have those here over at the Nintendo. I remember my friend a long time ago when he was like, maybe Nintendo should make an achievement system. What should they call it? They should call it Wii Wards. I'm like, oh god, Wii Wards.
That sounds kind of nasty. Yeah.
What about coins or something like that?
The thing is, they have these little coin system over here on the Nintendo Switch, but I think in order to like earn them, I think they have like gold coins and platinum coins or some shit like that. But you can use that to. I think you can use the platinum coins in the little Nintendo Switch store to buy certain avatars and little borders, and you can take a specific border and a specific avatar and a background and put it all together to make something you want. So they got something going on over there with it. And then I think the gold coins, you can use that for discounts, but you need like a shit ton of gold coins to
Hold on real quick. I got to give a shout out to Pig Dan. He's making it rain right now with the bits. Shout out to you, man. Holy shit.
Shout out to you, boy.
He said, I got the emails.
You got the emails.
Oh, by the way, we didn't mention Adam hasn't been feeling well, so he's not on the show. So
yeah, no Adam action. You got the Rona. Yeah. You got the Rona.
Shout out to Adam, man.
Yeah, but I think that makes most of the Throwdown has gotten this fucking thing. So you know what I'm saying. Me and Carlos probably got the shit. We didn't realize it. You know.
In New Orleans, probably.
In New Orleans, right? We probably gave it to the whole country. We don't even know.
Well, especially some of the people we were seeing.
You know. Oh man, maybe I'm patient zero because I went to 3 different places before all that shit happened. You know, your boy.
You guys weren't You guys were not distancing with the people.
No, that shit didn't exist back then. You know,
Tony's an American.
Yeah.
Oh, Brian, I got it. There was zero distancing.
There was no distancing. That shit wasn't even a thing back then, you know? This was February. It was like that's the shit happens to Chinese people. It don't happen to us, you know? Little did we know. Very stupid saying right there.
Yep.
But anyway, we are here. We are alive. And we're here for a show. Controversial show, potentially, you know? Man, we got to talk about Halo.
Uh-oh. What's going on with Halo?
Halos.
343, you fucking up. Let's get into this news, and Rich, I'll have you jump in after this. By the way, this news story written by our boy Gene Park. Shout out to him. He's doing his thing, fighting cancer. He's doing well. You know, he's recovering, doing the chemo and all that, but he's still writing stories. You know, as he said, because he loves it. It helps him. You know.
Yeah,
that's how you know you got a good job. He says, like, I don't want to stop working. I enjoy it. It helps me get my mind off this shit. You know?
Yeah, I can definitely see something. See that. I mean, you kind of don't want you don't want to wallow in your own, you know, and all that. You want to keep moving.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I mean that helps, man. But sure, so shout out to him. All right, so a couple of things happening with Halo. So season 3 of Halo Infinite, it was expected this year, right? Now it's coming in March, right? Co-op, I think it's coming in November, right? Forge mode is coming, and they got rid of split screen, which is pretty fucking bad, you know?
I mean, the thing about it is, like, you know, I can see why they would remove a split screen, because especially with a game like it, you're literally rendering the environment twice.
Yeah.
So, you know, you may not be able to get the same sort of performance off of that. They would have to really cut down the graphical fidelity of each version of it in order to get it to work. So my guess is it did it before, but I think this is a different situation.
I have been hearing, you know, there's rumors, there's rumblings, there are wind chimes. Apparently, and this could be just pure speculation. I'm just, you know, fueling the fanboy flames. But what I'm hearing is that a lot of this has to do with the fact that Halo Infinite is also running on the Xbox One, and that the reason why they can't do it that way is exactly what Manny's mentioning, but not because of the Series X or the Series S. It's more because of the Xbox One.
I can see that. They had to choose whether it ran on the Series A or the Xbox One, or they had split screen. Poor choice, though. Like, while I got the mic, I'll just say, like, I'm done. This shit's inexcusable. Fucking fire this team.
Yeah, that's my general consensus. Is like, listen, these guys. It's how many years have they had the franchise? They have everything. Nothing's worked for them. Like, if you could name me one bona fide hit that 343 created, let me know. But
nice.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Did I just make a pun without knowing it?
Bonafide. Bonnie Ross.
Oh. See, I'm smarter than I give myself credit for.
Brian, I'm assuming that's what you giggled at, but couldn't just me.
Bonnie Ross.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, I mean, we said that before. She needs to go. Oh my God, what a fucking disaster this is. So
I know everybody needs to go, and then they need to set fire to the building.
Yeah, I was tweeting with somebody, and they were like, "Oh no, like 343 needs to salvage." So I'm like, "No, 343 needs to get off this project. Like, just stop this already." You know, it's fucking insane. Rich, what's your take on Halo, man? The state of Halo Infinite, 2 years. Like, I know the game hasn't been out for 2 years, but like it was supposed to come out 2 years ago with the launch of the Series X, and we saw that it was delayed for a year. We're like, okay, maybe an extra year, it'll be all right. And look at this shit. This thing is like a slow version of Cyberpunk, the disaster happening. You know, fuck, because Cyberpunk was just like, boom, crash, you know, all fucked up, destruction everywhere, right? This one's just like watching destruction just in slow motion, you know? All right, anyway, Rich, what's your take on this?
Well, I personally think that this is a great example of art imitating life, you know, because I know there were many people wondering when Halo Infinite came out, why is the game called Halo Infinite? Well, now we know it's called Halo Infinite because it's going to take an infinity for this to feel like a genuine experience, you know? And I say that because, yes, I know the co-op is, you know, a lot of people told me when this game came out, they can't wait to play co-op. And those people are still waiting to play co-op. So, you know, I was surprised when Carlos told me the other day that that's still in beta. I mean, I don't understand what's going on, but this is the situation that Microsoft dug themselves into when they decided, let's release this game in December of last year, knowing that a lot of games don't typically release in December. So to me, this is a game that I said, maybe this should come out spring 2023, but it sounds like it's still not where it needs to be at. So this should have waited to a lot later.
At this point, they should have released it in like fall of 2024. It's like, Jesus, man, what a mess. You know, and it's funny you said that this game's in infinite development, and the fans are waiting infinitely for this thing to actually be good.
Damn it, you took my joke.
Yes.
I was like, I'm gonna say that when it's my turn. Goddamn, Tony just swiped it from under my shit, man. Right. Now I feel like Brett.
Oh man, Riku, I want to hear your take on this, because I know you're not a Halo guy at all, but I know you see the rumblings on the Twitters.
I do see the rumblings on the Twitters. Here's the thing about me, right? Everyone knows I don't really care about Halo like that, so I didn't have a take or an opinion on it. But I did have a group of friends who were heavy into the Halos and whatnot, and I remember having a conversation with them when Halo Infinite was coming out, and one of them was talking about how he thought that 343 did an amazing job on Halo. They are the true successors for Bungie, and Halo Infinite is going to be the best Halo game. He's played the beta and he can attest to whatnot. And I was just like, all right, man, I haven't played Halo like that. I have played a little bit of Halo 3, but I'm going to keep it real with you guys. In my opinion, I think Halo fell off around Halo 3 or Halo 4. And they started flipping out, and I was just like, everyone, I feel like ever since Halo started, people have been trying to make quote unquote a Halo killer, like Killzone and whatnot. And I was telling him that I felt like a Halo killer did come and did come. It was called Call of Duty 4,
yeah,
and they did
exactly.
They started flipping out. How dare you? Call of Duty 4 didn't kill Halo. And I was like, if you look at the genre of first person shooters, and the first person shooter franchises that spiked the genre and pushed it forward, every franchise that you can name that superseded the last one was a bigger franchise. So the one that really, as far as I know, and correct me if I'm wrong, in the order, it is Doom started it. Doom started the first person shooter shit, right? Then it was After Doom, I would say the second spike would be GoldenEye on the 64, right? After that spike, I would say is Halo 1 and 2. And after that spike, I would say is Call of Duty 4.
I would agree with that. And as a matter of fact, we've said this on many times on this podcast. People want to know about history and shit. We always say that it's ironic how every game tried to be the Halo killer, and the one game that wasn't trying to be the Halo killer was the Halo killer, Modern Warfare. 2007.
Call of Duty 4.
Yep.
And they're like, and they disagree with me and whatnot. I was like, bro, we all know if Halo,
your friends are idiots. By the way, I've said this many times. Your friends are fucking idiots. Think about the trajectory of the industry, right? Before Modern Warfare, every FPS game was trying to be like Halo, right?
Mm-hmm.
After Modern Warfare, every game was trying to be like Modern Warfare. So what the fuck are they talking about?
No, the game that
remember this was right when Halo Infinite was at its high, so they were just fucking blind. But maybe they're just blind the entire 24/7, like Tony's saying. But the point is,
hold on, Brett, real quick, because you got a Thundercatcher, so I got to let you talk.
Fuck yeah, it gives me power. I said, no, you know who put the final nail in the coffin, or what game put the final nail in the coffin? The true Halo killer is Halo Infinite.
Oh, damn! We got bombs tonight, man. Shit.
We all have different answers. Mine is Call of Duty is definitely the biggest nail on that coffin, but almost equally as big nail, if not even bigger, is the fact that Bungie just left it for Microsoft.
That's another one. Yep, that's another one.
Whenever they transition from Bungie to 343, and it's like, oh, we're getting a dream team of Halo legacy people, and the first thing they released was a Master Chief Collection, and I always bring this story up it feels like I bring it up every month or every other month since I've been in this show. I took a week off from work so I can play Master Chief Collection. I couldn't play it when it released. And it's been all downhill from there. And this is just another. Oh, go ahead, Rich.
I just was going to ask. So, is 343 going to compensate you for taking that time off?
I've been wanting my PTO to be reimbursed. I want interest. I want my $60 back. It's hard, man. It's all been downhill from there, and all of these games, it just shows that 343 was not ready for the spotlight. They should have started with smaller games so they can build themselves and get ready for this type of thing. But they were started from the ground up to be the harbingers of their most important IP in Xbox history,
or stewards.
And they weren't ready for that task, and it sucks because now I guess it doesn't suck because at this point in time, Microsoft has like 10 other studios that they bought in the last 2 years that they could probably do a better Halo than 343 can. So let's just give Halo to a different developer. Do whatever roadmaps you have projected for Halo Infinite, and just let it sit for a while, let it hibernate, and just let someone else do it. Because what 343 has done is just not up to the standards of what Halo has been and Halo was. They should replace Rare with avatars.
Yeah, damn. Chris, get in here, man. What's your take?
Well, I agree with what you and Brett said earlier, and yeah, I mean, everybody has made really good points. I had the same problem Carlos had. I bought the Master Chief Collection, foolishly thinking I could play it, and I couldn't get a single match going. Halo hasn't been the same since Reach. That was when Bungie left, and 343 took over. They made this inorganic team pilfering talent from Activision and all these other places to try to enhance the franchise, right? No, the franchise was born from the talent at Bungie. That talent was gone, and they tried to basically build the Yankees of developers, and what you have right now is a dysfunctional dud of a development studio, and they haven't done anything right. Like Halo 5 was not good. Master Chief Collection didn't even work in the beginning.
Halo 4 was mediocre.
Halo 4 was like, yeah, just whatever. And Infinite is, I am not even touching it. and all these with all these stories, why should I? Like Rich said, I might as well. It's like waiting for Duke Nukem Forever when I pre-ordered it in 1998. It's like, in 10 years maybe I can play this game.
Damn. Yeah. And it sucks because, and we knew this. We try to stay positive, especially me and Tony, since we were going through the playthroughs. We're playing each of the campaigns and streaming them. But it was all in the word when they say Infinite, and they named it Infinite. It's like, oh, okay, they're doing the live service route. And then when they say it's free to play, and I'm like, oh, so they're gonna release, and this is an issue that I've had with a lot of these types of things. It's like, oh, well, it's free. The multiplayer is free, so that means that they're allowed to not release a complete game when they announced it. And that sucks because I wanted to play that online co-op with Tony, and we couldn't, and we still can't. We're hoping it's in November, but we don't even know if we're going to be up to the task at that time because
or if we care,
or we care exactly because we don't know what our motivations will be by then.
Yeah,
and it sucks. Forge is coming out in beta barely. Forge has been coming out with Halo since Halo 3. Why is it now just beginning to be an issue? And it's and the couch co-op, it sucks. I feel for people like Brett who are still holding strong with doing the couch co-op stuff. But how could you even trust them to even do that when they can't even get the online co-op? And that's the something that needs to be there in day one. It's just a bad trend, man. Having these incomplete games from release date, when especially in a game that got delayed a couple of times, it's just inexcusable. That's just, we're not supposed to be, eating what the hell they're serving because it's a pile of shit.
Damn.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, but the thing is,
I said it.
Even a pile of shit has more substance. They're not giving you anything. It's fucking sad.
Yeah, at least a pile of shit is finished.
Yeah, exactly. It's sad. Yeah, 343 needs to go. Microsoft needs to give this to another studio. Ironically enough, they're going to acquire Activision. Maybe they should get some of the old Halo guys on this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because this is bad right now. And I know we've talked about and we have seen gaming redemption stories, right? No Man's Sky, Sea of Thieves, Fallout 76. We've seen this stuff happen. I don't think there's redeeming this shit, man.
Even Cyberpunk is doing something, right?
Yeah,
apparently.
Nah.
No,
not really.
Nah. I heard. Wait, hold up. I heard even sales wise, Cyberpunk is doing pretty.
Well, it always did well. It did well from the
jump
always
because
did
of
well.
the
fucking, yeah. Go ahead, Brett.
Yeah, I'm playing Cyberpunk again. It's actually no bugs so far.
Good.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. What I've been hearing is that Cyberpunk, the current state that it's in, they've actually, they just haven't been vocal about, hey guys, we're doing this, we're doing that. They just kind of just like after they've been humbled, they've just been shutting up and fixing the game. They haven't really been, announcing that, hey, look, we fixed this, we fixed that. So people who have, as far as I heard, people who have been playing Cyberpunk currently in its state, they're doing fine.
I'm glad for them,
that's good for them.
So in other words, they fixed the game in time for this anime series to start. Because I know that's coming this fall. That's coming this fall.
Yeah, I actually saw a trailer and it looks really fucking good. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, but my point is I don't think Halo Infinite's going to have a redemption arc.
Yeah, and the reason why I kind of disagree with you, Riku, is that like Tony mentioned, Red Dead, Cyberpunk was a hit from the beginning.
Yeah,
obviously the PR it was a PR disaster because of all the issues it had, but it made bank since day one, and it kept making bank for continuously afterwards.
Also, that's a single title. Like, how many chances has 343 had? How many chances can they redeem themselves?
Yeah, I think they've had enough chances. This needs to stop. This is embarrassing right now.
Speaking of big hits, just real quick, did y'all hear the sales of Elden Ring? I saw that this week. I don't know if anybody else saw that this week.
What was it, 15 million?
17.
Damn, let's go. Game of the year.
Oof.
It's amazing.
It's to the point that Sony wants more shares.
Yeah, we will talk about that in a bit.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
All right.
I know this isn't time and place for this, but I have to say it. Brett, did you hear about any other games around that time that have sales numbers?
No. I'm all ears, though.
Well, apparently
So is
nobody
Brian.
else has heard it. Yeah, we're all ears. Pig Dan, what's going on? Yeah, Barry's still making it rain over there.
Yo,
That's
Barry.
awesome.
Shout out to Barry Burton, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts on the Halos?
Let me just say a few more things. So, like I was saying, in regards to like my friends and whatnot, the whole like back and forth. But this is back when everybody was on board on the Halo Infinites, and Riku's just a PlayStation hater, a doomer. Shut up, Riku. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And I'm just over here. I'm just over here like I don't play Destiny anymore. But Destiny 2 is they out here pushing out the content. And I was telling them, like, when 343 took over, they weren't the same. Bungie is like the real heroes. Bungie was the heart of Halo and whatnot. They didn't want to hear any of that. And I was telling them that I didn't like Destiny 2 when it first launched. But if you look at the content and how Destiny 2 is doing currently right now, that is as far as I know, revenue wise, that's the game that made Bungie their most money. Everybody currently playing Destiny 2 right now is having a fucking blast. If I played it day one, the current state it is in right now, I'll probably be super deep into it. And they wasn't trying to hear none of that. They're like, you're just jacking off Destiny because PlayStation and Bungie are in bed. Shut up, you Sony pony. I'm like, I'm just speaking the truth, and they didn't want to hear it during that time. But now we have this a new. Some new big content for Destiny coming out. Bungie's still supporting it like fucking crazy, and Halo's over here doing this. And when this news came out, I walked in that chat with the Vince, that Vince McMahon gif of him walking out with his dick swinging. No chance. Just that was me. I was like, well, what's going on here? And they're like, oh god, Riku. But R.I.P. Halo. I mean, didn't they say there were supposed to be 3 Halos, 4, 5, and 6, right?
I thought it was going to be infinite.
Yeah, I did.
Halo 6 is infinite, but what my question is now, where does Halo go from here? Because I highly doubt
another studio. Hopefully,
Yeah, we'll see. We shall see. They got the money and the revenue behind it to keep it going. So it's definitely not the end of Halo. We will see where it goes.
Yeah, no, Halo's still going to be around. It's just Microsoft needs to give it to somebody else. This is ridiculous.
All right, I want to make one last comment.
Yeah.
Since we have officially laid Halo and 343 to rest, I want to say for those that are looking for a Halo multiplayer type experience, they need to check out a game called Splitgate, because that's a game that combines Halo and Portal. This is multiplayer, and it is free to play. So, I would say check that out, because that's actually a pretty fun game. But
it's a fairly recent game, right, Rich?
Yeah, and it's on Xbox.
Infinite,
it's on everything. Yeah, it is recent. Mm-hmm.
Nice,
interesting.
All right, man. Move on here to the next controversial topic.
Oh.
The Last of Us Remake.
Oh
man. Okay, so the review embargo lifted.
Let me remind you that Throwdown is fair and balanced, and we give the hell equally to both sides of the ocean.
Yeah, we're dunking on Microsoft. I'm going to dunk on Sony. That's how we do it, Brian.
That's what we call fair, bitches.
Exactly. All right. So the review embargo lifted August 31st. And to no one's surprise, the game's getting 9s and 10s across the board. A game that was already highly reviewed is getting highly reviewed again. Wow, big shock there. I
have a question about this.
Yeah, go ahead, Brett.
So the fact that it was reviewed as like a 10 back then and a 10 now, and it's not a remake, it's just kind of a remaster, right?
Well, no, they claim it's a remake from the ground up, even though
from the ground up for PS5.
Even though that's a huge fucking asterisk.
Yeah, they don't know what they mean by that. So it's basically a remaster. From everything that I've heard, even the reviews basically say that, and then give it a 10. Like, am I to understand that means that all of these people believe that the industry hasn't really gone any further in the last 10 years? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm critical, but like, I can't say that a games haven't gotten better in 10 years. You know what I mean?
But the thing is, if the game already got a 10, where do you go from there?
Well, you would think if it got a 10 years ago, it'd still be like an 8 or 9 by modern standards, maybe.
Can I hop in here and answer some of your questions?
Yeah, please.
In my opinion on this whole thing. So let's see. Okay. So firstly, I want to start with the whole remaster remake thing and my thoughts on it. So in regards to The Last of Us Part 1, right? And I also recently watched, I think Digital Foundry made like a super fucking long video. They broke it down like a motherfucker over there. I give them credit. They went into every single little detail and whatnot. There were certain parts of The Last of Us, the original one, when you play it, there will be a cutscene, right? And after the cutscene, the screen will go blank, and then you are just controlling Joel. They went into like super detail in regards to like everything Naughty Dog changed for this one. And after seeing all of those changes, I recommend someone go and watch that video. I would agree that this is a remake over a remaster, especially in regards to certain small details in regards to the gameplay. When they had like three split screens side by side. So one of them was the PS3 version of The Last of Us. One was The Last of Us Part 2, and one was this Last of Us Part 1 in regards to the gameplay and how certain details of how Joel shoots the gun, or the character shoots the gun is closer to how The Last of Us 2 has it versus how The Last of Us the original Last of Us. And I was in my head, if this was a remake, I would assume it would be. If this was a remaster, I would assume it would be closer to how it played in the Last of Us, the original Last of Us, instead of Last of Us Part 2, meaning that they definitely dived in there a little bit, and at least when it came to like the shooting mechanics, and those were from the ground up. If I didn't watch that video, I would probably say that this is probably a top tier remaster. But here's the thing about this whole like remaster, remake, reimagining, what else do they have? Reboots, all of these damn terms and whatnot. The original definition of a remake is cleaning up the graphics, keeping the gameplay as one-to-one as possible, and the only thing that you're going to change in the gameplay is very small, what's the word I'm looking for? Very small quality of life features, right? Feels like as of late, games that do remakes, they don't really follow those specific rules anymore, and they try to modernize the gameplay, sometimes change the whole genre, like Final Fantasy VII Remake did and whatnot. But so for me, it's like when it comes to what a true remake looks like, games like Shadow of the Colossus, Spyro, the Spyro remake, and Crash Bandicoot, I feel as of late are the only games really encompassing what an actual remake is. A lot of those other games, they try to do extra shit that might put them in like the reimagining or remaster section. But I feel when it comes to that, the original term of what a remake is, The Last of Us Part 1 is that. If they did change the gameplay to how The Last of Us Part 2 is, which apparently that's what everybody wants. If you look at the Metacritic score of Last of Us Part 1, in comparison to the PS3 and the PS4 version, those versions got 95s, both of them. This version didn't even get a 90. It got an 89. And when you look at some of the reviews on some of them, and a lot of Sony pundits were mad at that. They're just like, this is going to hit a 90. I was wondering, I was like, I could see this hitting a 90. I don't see it getting a 95 again, like what Brett said. It's probably going to be, by today's standards, it's going to get lower. And it did. I just thought it would still be in the 90s. Nope, 89, right? It was like 88 earlier, bounced around a couple of times. But the point is, when you look at some of the reviews that, I think it was like, I'm actually looking at it right now. It has like a few mixed reviews, right? And a few of them, the mixed reviews were talking about, the main things that people were mad about, the fact that there's no multiplayer in there, and that they should have changed the controls to what the superior Last of Us Part 2 stuff is. And I'm like, I can agree with those critiques, especially the pricing. Like I don't think anybody fucking agrees that shit should be $70, But, modern critiques to a remake, is going to get a bit lower. But another game that I would say is a true remake is Demon's Souls, because as you can see, the only thing Demon's Souls changed were quality of life features, right? So it's this one's a really mixed bags. But like Tony said, it's still getting really good reviews, and 89 is still really good. But some people they don't like that. They don't like that.
I want to clarify. I'm just calling bullshit on the 10s. This game is not fucking perfect. It's damn near the same game it was 10 years ago, and that's fine, but I call bullshit on your 10s.
Yeah, what I found funny was all these ponies strutting around, and I'm mixing up my animal metaphors here, but just deal with it. I find it funny seeing all these ponies strutting around like peacocks over these high review scores. Yeah, oh no shit, it was going to get high scores, and you think that's a grand accomplishment, but again, they just care about having any kind of ammo. Like, oh, what about, where's your guys' 10 out of 10 games? Oh, Xbox, where's your games at? It's fucking stupid. And it is what I find funny. I'm calling out the ponies right now. Fuck those guys. So on one hand, they're like, oh, like our game got a 10 out of 10. What about you, Xbox? But then when their games don't get a 10 out of 10, they're like, man, the critics don't matter. They don't listen to those guys. Play the game for fun.
So we're getting review bombed.
Tony, they're technically doing that right now with The Last of Us, because like I said,
they are doing that with The Last of Us. That's what I'm saying.
A lot of them are mad it didn't get a 90.
Yeah, no. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, well, so you're getting both in this situation. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. So but you guys already know my thoughts on this. I think this is a absolute cash grab. The only thing this thing exists is because of the fucking HBO show that's coming. Because you can play the remaster right now on your PS5 and it still looks good. Don't get me wrong, the new one looks better, obviously, but this didn't need to happen. It's a fucking cash grab, And this thing is a remake in the literal sense of the word, that they tore the whole shit down and rebuilt it on PS5 technology. Yes, that technically makes it a remake, but it's the same fucking game. There's no difference. And I love the fact that these motherfuckers are out there talking about, oh, this game's worth the $70. Where's your fucking factions at, bruh? Where's your multiplayer at, bruh? You supposedly loved factions so much. The greatest multiplayer of all time. It's missing. You don't say nothing. Very interesting.
Why are you defending it at all? You're the consumer. Why is the consumer arguing that they should pay more money? What kind of fucked up world do we live in?
Brett, I've literally seen guys saying how proud they were to spend $70 on quality.
Crazy.
These guys are fucking crazy.
Let's take a step back. This is not an artisan whom you're giving extra fucking money to because you're like, I really appreciate what you do. Feel free to tip your tattoo artist, right?
Yes.
We do a good job.
Tip Brett, motherfuckers.
Feel free to buy fan art and shit like that. Feel free to buy the collector's edition. Find a way to give them more money if you support them. But just the whole well, as a consumer, I feel like everybody should be paying more for this. What kind of weird world do you live in? It's just I want to give the corporation more money. I just do.
But these guys are proud of it. And then they chastise people.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah. I'm a fan of roller coasters, right? But when I go to Cedar Fair, I'm not like, these tickets should really be $10 more.
And
crazy.
And then they go after people who question it. Oh, you fucking cheap asshole! Get another job.
And then I start in line with the guy who's like, "Why do you want $10 more?" Boy, you don't think it's worth this? Put a new roller coaster, man.
Yeah, fucking dumb.
I think everybody should pay $10 more. What kind of?
Here's the thing. I was having a conversation with Carlos a couple days ago on Twitter in regards to the whole factions one, and I was one of those people. I love factions. It was one of my favorite third-person shooter multiplayers during the PS3 era. The fact that it isn't here, I am extremely disappointed. But I am gonna keep it real in regards to that, and I wasn't going to play it if it came back, only because I played that multiplayer a ridiculous amount when it first came out. But here's another thing: I'm not picking up The Last of Us Part 1 at $70, right? So if let's say The Last of Us Part 1 at $70 did have the multiplayer in it, right? And I did pick it up, I probably would have played through the single player, right? I probably would have played a couple matches and then never played the game again. So like for me, if they did make the multiplayer for me, that would have been a waste because I only played 2 matches of your remade multiplayer and then just tossed it to the side, right? So for me, that would have been, a waste. I wouldn't have cared for it because I'm sure there's probably some people who played it for $1,000.
No, there's a ton. There's a whole cult following. People regard this as like one of the best multiplayer experiences.
No, I understand that. Let me finish though.
Since the beginning of time.
Yeah. So yeah, for me, I always tell people in regards to The Last of Us Part 1 at $70, I personally don't think it's worth it. If you think it is, good for you. If you were to ask me what should you do, and if you wanted to play it, I would say wait for it to come to the PlayStation Plus catalog, because we all know if it's not a Nintendo game, it's gonna drop in price really fucking fast. And when it comes to these PlayStation first party games in particular, you can almost guarantee that one is probably gonna come to PC, and two, when it comes to PC, it's probably gonna come to the PlayStation Plus catalog, especially since they the current situation, how it looks now, they're trying to get as many games on there as possible. And the first party games, it's like a 90% chance that eventually all of them are going to be on there. This is definitely going to be on there eventually. So I would say just wait for it to hop up on there. Probably grab the extra for whatever, however much it costs when it comes out there, and play it that way, right? In regards to the multiplayer, they said that they're working on the multiplayer. They said it's Naughty Dog's most ambitious endeavor yet, right? So for me, if that's the case and they're in the background working on their most ambitious endeavor yet, and it's a multiplayer, as someone who was a fan of the third person multiplayer that they made prior for The Last of Us, I'm more so looking forward to whatever the fuck that is versus playing a remade version of a multiplayer like that. I said I would only put a couple of matches in, So for me, like I said, since I'm not going to pick it up at $70, and I'm probably going to wait for it to hop up on the catalog, I'm going to do it. And when that new multiplayer comes out, that's probably going to have Last of Us 2 gameplay. It's supposed to be like The Last of Us Part 2's multiplayer. That's what I'm looking forward to. Sorry for anyone that cared about the multiplayer for one not getting remade. You're going to get something better. Just going to have to wait a little bit longer. That's all I got to say about that.
Well, you gotta wait for season 2 of the show to come out for that to come
out. Is anybody here gonna watch the HBO show or anything?
Fuck that shit.
Hell no.
I want to see this train. I want to see this train wreck. So I'm gonna
I'd rather watch Miss Marvel and then She-Hulk back to back.
Oh God!
Whoa! Not She-Hulk.
She-Hulk out here twerking on the feed. What the fuck going on, man?
Yep.
Crazy.
What is going on?
So with the whole Uncharted, the whole Last of Us Part 1 remake, the thing with me that irks me the most,
The Last of Us is Uncharted. It's just sad Uncharted,
It's emo charted. My whole issue is it's not, because I appreciate that Riku mentioned our talks on Twitter, because the reason why I brought it up is because I just don't like the trend that a lot of these companies are following, where it's like, hey, we're remaking The Last of Us Part 1, but part of the game, and a pretty significant part of the game, was factions, which a lot of people love, but that'll come later. And it's like it's this whole Halo Infinite. Yeah, the online co-op and Forge, it's gonna come later. Oh yeah. Red Dead Online, that'll come later. And it's this whole thing where a lot of these experiences are getting released incomplete, not to mention the bevy of the games that are broken at launch that need years to get fixed, or that come with guaranteed things that they don't come with. I'm thinking about No Man's Sky that eventually come. It's that whole culture of, oh yeah, we're eat our we'll eat your $70 and eat this half feast, and it'll eventually become whole. We'll guarantee it, and it's that those IOUs. What's up?
No, I'm saying if you're still interested by the time it comes out, right?
Yeah, so it's like I don't like these IOUs that the gaming industry is giving their consumers.
I couldn't agree with that.
And the consumers are just eating this shit up, and I can't. That's why I couldn't be hyped for whatever this is, whether it's a remake or a remaster. The context of that, I guess, is irrelevant at this point, because charging $70 for just part of what was The Last of Us and them promising something that was coming later, it's just like, it's not complete.
Yeah. See, so do you feel that The Last of Us Part 2 was a complete game?
I don't remember. Well, it's an interesting one, because I don't remember them promising us multiplayer.
Yeah, they didn't. People just obviously assumed that it would be there because the first one had one, right? Yeah,
so to me, it was a complete game because they never promised it. So I can't really blame them for not releasing something they didn't promise.
So another thing in regards to that, we know that the people that are working on the Dead Space remake, they came out and said that the gameplay for Dead Space 1 will have the gameplay features of Dead Space 2. They came out and said that, right? So when it came to The Last of Us Part 1, they said that the gameplay was from the ground up and is going to be modernized, right? But they never used the words verbatim that it would play like The Last of Us Part 2. But the way they phrased it made all of the fans and everyone assume that the gameplay was going to be like The Last of Us Part 2. So when the gameplay did come out and it's still playing like The Last of Us Part 1, people got extremely disappointed. And a lot of people canceled their
our boy Jack Move Johnny was not happy, man.
Oh yeah, Jack was not happy when he found that out, right? He felt like he got gypped. But like I said, they never in specific said that they were changing that one. And like I was asking you just a second ago, it's similar to like how The Last of Us Part 2, where it's like we just assumed that it was going to be there because the first one had it. And then with Dead Space coming out and saying that thing, and then them coming out and saying what they said, we assumed that The Last of Us Part 1 would have The Last of Us Part 2 gameplay in regards to like dodging, going prone and whatnot, even though like I said, in that Digital Foundry video, if you look at some of the details they said inside it, a lot of the stages and the layout of The Last of Us Part 1 wasn't built for stuff like prone in mind, right? Because when you go into prone, there are certain parts in the design of The Last of Us Part 2 where there are grass patches that you can hide in, and the people literally can't see you when you're in the grass. Those, there aren't grass patches or like level layouts that take that into consideration for The Last of Us Part 1. They would have to do a lot more if that was the case, right? So when you look at it that way, like, okay, I understand why they didn't put prone in, but dodging, that probably could have been put in and whatnot, right? But it's like, people do assume something is going to be there, even though the developer didn't technically say that it wasn't going to be there. And nonetheless, it does shoot the game in the foot when it comes out and they realize what it is or what it is, right? And part of that blame you can put on Naughty Dog, because it's like, maybe if you guys did clarify that, yeah, The Last of Us Part 1 will not have The Last of Us Part 2 gameplay, people would have leveled their expectations, like Jack Move Johnny, right? The dude's like face flat on the floor. It's out of $70 now. He said he's still gonna play, but he's pissed off that they didn't clarify until a fucking couple days before that there is none of that shit is there. So it's like this game is a very naughty Doug modern game.
Naughty game, man. It's a naughty game. Rich, what's your take, man? You reviewed this game, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I got a lot to say. I just wanted to let everybody give their thoughts first.
Right.
Got something controversial. Let's go.
Yeah, man.
All right, so pretty much the video that Riku mentioned is that's a great place to start. The game, obviously, all of the details added to it. Yeah, you can tell that some of that stuff is in there. Is the game worth $70? No chance in hell. No chance in hell. Now, let me just say this. Okay, there's a very iconic scene in the original Last of Us. It's in every game of Last of Us, where Ellie tells Joel, "It can't be for nothing," and she's right, because it's either $69.99 for the regular edition or $99.99 for the Firefly edition. That's what they are doing when they are selling you this game.
Wow. So
the problem is, though, and again, I've seen a lot of conversations about this game. I've seen Twitter Spaces. I've been in Twitter Spaces where we've seen some of our people that we know debating this game. You know, the armchair analysts, etc. But let me just say this right now: the issue that I have with the game that nobody is really talking about is it's the way the game is branded as The Last of Us Part 1. When you saw the first game, there was no Part 1 anywhere whatsoever in the title. You just assumed it's The Last of Us, and that's the first game in the series.
Yeah.
But what Sony did is they branded this as The Last of Us Part 1, which to me, as a consumer, I'm looking and I'm thinking, well, The Last of Us Part 2, there are a lot of controversial events that happen in The Last of Us Part 2. So I'm thinking, if you're rebranding this, is there going to be more context as to what some of that stuff is that happened in the second game added to this first game? And it's not there. Because again, we want to preserve the visual integrity and quality of this original game for a modernized audience. That's what the spiel is that they gave people. And to me, that yeah.
In regards to what you just said, I know that as far as I heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, the Abby's father, the doctor at the end of The Last of Us
yes.
1. I heard that in this remake they redesigned his character in the doctor at the end to make him look more like how they portrayed him in The Last of Us Part 2. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. I think that was the only thing. Yeah, I think that was like the only thing they did to like make the two of the games like closer, right? But nothing else, right?
Brian,
nothing
isn't
else.
that something you predicted would happen too?
Yep, it's totally predictable. They're rewriting the history, which if you know anything about history, anyone that tries to do that is generally a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
What, right, Connie?
Yeah, just not even in the entertainment space. I mean, just in general. Like, those people that try to rewrite history tend to be awful people. Like, for example, removing a certain reference to something that happened in a square in 1989.
Did they really remove that? Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, they moved it for the Call of Duty trailer, and also that one Simpsons episode that says that nothing happened here. Yeah, they actually removed that as well.
Wow, holy shit.
But enough about Trafalgar Square.
Yeah, wow, that's great. It's kind of funny because I remember watching that on TV as a kid. But anyway, continue. Guess I'm wrong about that too. Oh yeah. Anyway, that's the only thing they really changed. Rich
was the I know there was like a few other designs they changed. But,
like things like the one thing about the game is like, if you played the original Last of Us, it felt like it took forever to get a trophy. It's very easy to get a platinum for this just by completing the missions. You find the collectibles, and in a lot of instances, Ellie will allude to, "Hey, you should look in that room over there." They try to make it a little bit easier for you to find stuff. So anyone that wants to collect stuff and get the platinum, they can definitely do it. And of course, the difficulty, there is no trophy for the difficulty either. So, it's very easy. They made it easier for somebody to jump into it.
You heard about that, right, Rich? In regards to what Sony told all of its first party games moving forward, and it's been like this way for a couple of years, where they are trying to get more people into trophies. So they are telling all of their first party developers that they are no longer allowed to make any difficulty trophies. So no more trophies for hard mode. You can get a trophy for beating the game, as far as I remember, but no trophies for hard mode. That's not a thing anymore. And a few of the trophy hunters are like, "That's why the fuck would you?" We can understand getting more people into trophies. A lot of people's first platinum has been like Spider-Man and Ratchet. A lot of the recent games, but it's like the hard mode trophy wasn't really a trophy that was offending to trophy hunters. If you were a trophy hunter at any point in your fucking life, the offending trophies. Those trophies were multiplayer trophies. Those trophies were it was multiplayer. It was two other types. What were they? Multiplayer trophies, collectibles, like fucking annoying collectibles, and missable trophies. Those were the three most offending trophies that you could have in your trophy collection. Not difficulty trophies, right?
But these aren't for trophy hunters. They're for literally everybody else, and they're going to turn.
I understand.
Your hand and walk you through it.
Mm-hmm. No, I understand. Yep. I understand that. I'm just saying. I just find that funny that trophies obviously is supposed to be meant for someone to feel like they've accomplished something, and I just felt like hard mode probably shouldn't have been one of the ones taken out. The other ones I'd have been like, yeah, if they said no more multiplayer trophies, I would be for that. They said no more missable trophies, I would have been for that. Could understand those, but hard mode, that's. I'm like, come on, man. Give them a little bit of a challenge, but that's funny.
Naughty Dog was the hard mode of trophies because those motherfuckers gave you fucking scraps for beating their fucking games.
Yep.
Yep. I felt like you beat The Last of Us 1, you get fucking 35% of the trophies. I'm like, what the fuck?
No, I was talking about the difficulty trophies. They've been doing it since the Uncharted. Remember, every single difficulty had a trophy: easy, normal, hard, and crushing in Uncharted, and then easy, normal, hard, grounded, and Survivor. They all had trophies, but all of that has been removed.
Yeah,
apparently.
Well, you see,
I don't really care about that though. Whatever.
Well, you see, I didn't know about that trophy thing, so we have to give Riku his flowers and say this is why he is the only one, because this is the first time I heard about them making this stuff easier. So that's very interesting.
Yeah, no, I saw people on Twitter going crazy. Oh man, we're making it easy for everybody.
Here's the thing. Apparently, what Sony
accessibility options.
I know, right? Apparently, as far as the statistics have shown, a lot more people are into trophies than ever before now. So whatever. So what Sony wanted is what's happening. People are out here collecting the trophies. So good for them. Even though I'm not really. Is anybody in here even into trophies like that anymore? Are we all out of it?
No, I'm more so or less. No, not me. Fuck that.
I get I like my trophies. Here's the thing. If you're playing a game, you get the trophies, but you're not going to play a game for trophies, right?
No, that's stupid. I've never done that.
Yeah.
Never done that. Yeah. But if I like a game enough and the stuff is achievable, I'll get them.
And that's the thing. They just made it, I guess, quote unquote, achievable now, right?
Yeah.
I was expecting Brian to say something.
Achievable. Achievable.
Achievable.
I didn't count that.
Achievements.
Yeah. Riku, by the way, this year I've only played 3 PlayStation games, but I got the platinum in each of them. Hey, you already know, man.
Yeah,
by the way, I was fearing that I was going to turn to Torrance with gaming. No, I turned into Manny, and I like that. Manny doesn't play a lot of games, but when he plays them, he gets those motherfucking platinums.
Especially if I like a game.
Yeah, no,
Torrance was straight platinum, right?
What was that?
You got that straight platinum, right?
Of course I did.
Hey, my man.
Of course I did.
Me too.
And as opposed to Manny, Torrance doesn't play as many games either, but he just doesn't beat them.
Yeah,
man, oh man,
what do you call
Torrance,
it? A connoisseur, you know.
Torrance, you gaming connoisseur, motherfucker. You getting slander tonight on
that
episode 400?
That is not. Torrance is not a gaming connoisseur. He is what is called a gaming to stick your finger in the meal and then taste the finger and then you're done. I don't know what you call that.
I thought you were gonna say. I thought you were gonna say Torrance isn't a gaming connoisseur. He is a gaming dinosaur.
He's a nibbler.
What?
You know.
Nah, he don't do. He didn't even do that. He just sticks his finger in to taste a little bit.
Oh,
that's good.
Nasty ass finger in there.
Yeah.
You know the thing people do with their tongues when they're really trying to get the taste.
Yeah.
Torrance. He does a little of that.
Should have put a finger back in there again. Like, what are you doing?
God, like
your finger already been everywhere else, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, knowing Torrance, he'll do something else with that finger beforehand.
Man,
whoa!
That's a different show. That's
that's a war zone. Remember
that's a war zone.
But yeah, Rich. Anything else in regards to The Last of Us?
Yeah, just two quick last things I want to mention. In regards to the decision to release this game now, we know the original Last of Us came out, I believe it was in June 2013. Mm-hmm. So I don't know why it didn't come out next year, because, that'll be a 10-year anniversary for Naughty Dog. So I would think it would make more sense to release it at that time. Plus, this HBO show that everyone is looking forward to, this show isn't even coming out till next year. So that's why I question why did they release it beforehand? But we know why, because they need to bring in some money for the fall. You got God of War coming later.
They got no games.
They can do both. They'll just re-release it then.
Or,
yes.
I think they'll re-promote it then, and I also think that's when Factions is going to come out.
Yeah, that's when Factions.
Here's the thing. Remember what I said earlier in regards to they should just go ahead and I would tell if anyone hasn't played The Last of Us, the original Last of Us as of yet. Sure, this may be the version 2 play, but play it on the PlayStation Plus catalog because it will inevitably come there. That's probably when it will drop around that time.
Go ahead, Rich.
Exactly. And the last point is, I'm pretty sure y'all heard that it has been speculated that there will be a director's cut of The Last of Us Part 2. So expect to see that next year. So,
I heard
here we go.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I'm gonna say this. Just being honest. I always liked The Last of Us, the first one, right? But in the years after that, because the fan reaction and especially, the craziness with The Last of Us 2 and the fans, the fans killed the franchise for me, man. Being real. Crazy. They ruined it for me. That's why I'm like, I think I'm done. I don't want to be associated with these people,
And didn't they say they already had the script for The Last of Us Part 3 already written?
Yeah, I don't care. I'm done. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. I don't care. Not watching the show. Not playing the games. I'm fucking done with this.
To be honest, I was done with Last of Us at 1. I feel like it would have been a more poignant if it just ended at 1 and when Naughty Dog moves on. But now we're gonna get another one and another one. I don't need to go back in that world.
Yeah.
How the fuck do you have a director's cut?
I don't know. Maybe they cut something out.
Cut,
Yeah. Who the fuck? Yeah. Who the fuck is the director in this instance?
Yeah, Neil Druckmann.
Maybe when it comes to director's cut in regards to video games, a lot of the times when they throw that on there wasn't really anything that was cut that was brought back inside the game. Like, for example, Sonic Adventure director's cut on the Nintendo GameCube. Nothing was cut for them to say that shit. It's just director's cut is just
we're gonna give you more Abby. Let's go.
It's a spice. It's like a spice word, like Super Street Fighter and
that's what I'm saying. Like
5 Royal and whatnot.
We've drifted so far from the meaning that used to have that now we're just like, I don't know, it's just another version. What's different?
Here's the thing. When it comes to naming video games, Mortal Kombat doesn't start with a K, right? Revengeance isn't even a word. Like, it doesn't matter in video games. They just be throwing shit on there to just make it sound cool.
But and by the way, Riku's right about this because just think about it. When a movie is shot, you can film scenes and it costs it takes like an hour of someone's time, and you can cut a couple of minutes so you can get it on a theatrical release, and so the theaters will be happy and the studios will be happy. But for video game, it's like if you're cutting a whole like 5 hours of gameplay, I mean that's a shit ton of man hours, and with all the people that worked on it, the rendering, the artists, the everything, it costs a lot more to cut.
And that's the thing. Majority, if not all, video games, obviously, all everything that they made for it doesn't make it into the game. So they could bring that back and be like, yeah, director's cut. Technically, it counts. But like when they do throw the director's cut like label onto it, they don't actually do that. They haven't. If you can find me an example, then sure, that might be the exception to the rule. But majority of them that slap on the name, like didn't Ghost of Tsushima have a director's cut? Oh no, it was Death Stranding. Yep. Didn't Death Stranding call their thing director's cut?
Both of them did, and I believe Jesus Carlos Christ. Said he enjoyed Ghost of Tsushima director's cut.
No, but you could enjoy it. But what I'm saying is that it was just a spicy label for that game as well. Because as far as I know, they didn't add anything that was removed previously. It was just like a spice name. Mm-hmm. But it is what it is. Well, Last of Us Part 2 director's cut. We gonna have it.
Rich, I will say this. I did definitely enjoy the Ghost of Tsushima director's cut, especially because I bought the old game, and I only paid like a $5 or $10 fee to upgrade. I didn't have to pay $70 to get the game all over again.
Well, there you go.
Especially not after a remaster. That's the difference. Mm-hmm.
That's a big difference. That price is everything. So
and not only and Rich, that's a good point, because just think about it like this. I'm talking about myself here, and I'm probably most fans of The Last of Us. I bought the original game on PS3, and I bought the remaster. There was no upgrade there, and they're expecting me to pay $70 for this.
Unless you're one of those people like me, I went to I remember when because you remember when The Last of Us Remaster came out. It was like fucking 8 months after the actual game came out.
That was
a little bit before. A little bit, yeah. You should actually hear the story behind what Naughty Dog had to do to rush and push out that remaster version. It was really interesting.
How many babies to sacrifice, man?
Man, a lot of babies. Point is, I remember around that time GameStop was like, trade in your PlayStation 3 version of The Last of Us and get The Last of Us Remaster for only $10. I know a lot of people that did that shit. I was one of them. But that wasn't anything PlayStation or Sony did on their side. It was more of a GameStop thing. I think that was probably the last GameStop W that they did before they went to shit.
Oh, man. All right. Any last thoughts on The Last of Us?
Like I said, people, just wait for it to come to the PlayStation Plus catalog. Is obviously going to be on there. Don't pay $70 for it if you don't feel like it's worth it to any degree.
My fucking cheapskate. Go ahead.
My final words is like,
yeah.
I'll play the old one.
Yeah. So yeah, go check out. Yeah, go ahead, Rich.
In final words, instead of playing Last of Us, I don't know, maybe play a new game such as God of War Ragnarok or any other game that's coming out. I mean, I would not want to spend time going through that game for a third time, but I did.
If you're gonna pay $70 for a horror shooter game, wait for Callisto Protocol later this year, baby.
Yes. There you go.
Yes.
Get that shit instead.
Did you guys hear?
Yeah. By the way, it's not coming to Game Pass. Why is that a big deal?
Yeah. See. I heard about that rumor. Yep. Go ahead.
Sorry, Rich. So you didn't put that as one of the topics, because I know you saw it from my.
Yeah, no, I saw it, but I was like, why was this a big deal? Like, does every game get expected to be on Game Pass now? Like, explain.
Yeah.
To me.
Well, no. Didn't Glenn Schofield say he will do everything he can to try and work with Game Pass?
Well, I don't know about that story, Rich. But what I did hear is, and Glenn Schofield is the who's that guy?
He's the guy.
This is the guy that's.
Go ahead, Rich.
Yeah, he's in charge.
He's the director of that game.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I thought. Okay, great. So I heard that he talked to some publication and said that this game wouldn't work on Game Pass. It wouldn't be profitable.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's where it set everything off. Yeah.
But
so he said, and I'll look for the article real quick.
Yeah, no, but I just don't understand why is this game being singled out being on Game Pass. Like, not every game ends up on Game Pass, and this game is not an exclusive.
So, because he said that.
But somebody asked him the question then, right?
Yeah. The official quote was, "We're going to do everything in our power to collaborate with Xbox." So I think people looked at that and said, "Oh, it must be coming to Game Pass."
Oh, okay. People jump at the gun as always. Then.
Yeah.
It says he says about Game Pass. I think those services are built towards some of the open world style and repetitive multiplayer games. I think games like that survive well on that service. And he says, Microsoft has their own single player games within the service, and I still think you're going to see the platform holder studios provide single player games in them. I'm just saying that as a financial model, it's difficult. It's a difficult one to make work as an independent studio. So he's talking about independent single player games as opposed to repetitive multiplayer games that are based off of live service and microtransactions.
Here's the thing, he has the right to his own opinion. Maybe he feels that this thing is not something that will work for him. No harm, no foul.
Who asked him this? That's what I want to know. I'm confused.
Here's the thing.
What set this all off?
Well, I mean, it's probably something that it's one of those hot topic things that every developer and every director gets asked. It's like, hey, are you going to put this on Game Pass?
And that's the
Manny,
thing.
This reminds me of, hey, is your game going to have multiplayer? Remember that bullshit from like fucking 15 years ago?
No, this is definitely the modern version of that.
Not everything needs to be on Game Pass.
And back then I did it, and I'm doing it again. I blamed game journalists for that bullshit, and this is the reason we had a whole decade of fucking tacked on multiplayer. That I could go off on a whole tangent about that. You had all these games that had no right to be having fucking multiplayer for no fucking reason. Because of these stupid ass questions. I guess the modern version is your game going to be on Game Pass?
Maybe hold on. But here's the thing. Like, I think in general, it's like he has the right to if he believes that this is not a good model for him, then all power to him. Who knows if the thing does better? Who's not to say that this thing is never going to show up on there? So I don't understand where the news is. I just think it's a lot of people getting all butthurt because he doesn't really feel like he wants to put it on Game Pass.
Yeah, Brett, you gonna say something?
I have a theory. Carlos, do you know when those quotes are dated?
This was actually this week, right, Carlos?
It was this week.
The article today. I don't know when the exact quotes were from.
Was the quote that said that they're going to do everything they can to work with Microsoft from this recent article, or was it from a previous thing?
No, it's from this recent article. So he said essentially what he said is we don't think that it's beneficial. I'm paraphrasing. We don't think it's beneficial for the type of game that we're releasing to put it on Game Pass. And then he says that, and I quote, "We're going to give it time in the market before any of these deals are made." And that's referring.
So there you go. So he wants to make the direct funding off of that. And he'll make the decision as to if he wants to go with Game Pass later. That's not. There's no harm, no foul on that. Right?
Well, I'm trying to answer Tony. What I think is going on here is that it sounds like he made a statement that had made people think that there was a chance that this was coming to Game Pass, and then this was just it's news because they're shifting gears. It's not so much that every game is going to be on Game Pass, and now we need to ask that question. It seems like people thought this was coming to Game Pass, and they're like, "Oh no, never mind, it's not," and that's why people feel like it's a big thing.
No. I'm asking again. What initiated this?
He probably made a statement along the lines. If he said something along the lines of what he did in this thing, where he said, "We're doing everything we can to work with Microsoft." That's
made
enough
him
to set
say that. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, people are just people on forums interacting with the developers as they're going through development. That's normal now.
Well, actually,
developers shouldn't be in forums anyway. Go on, go on.
Yeah, there was an interview with Generation Xbox. That's was where this came out because they asked him that question, and that was his response. That's the article that everybody has been referencing.
Yeah, Generación Xbox. I guess it's a Spanish thing. All right.
Yeah.
That's all right. Okay, that's what I just want to know. Where did this come from? All right. But it's not coming to Game Pass.
Let me say something real quick about Game Pass. As just recently they announced what's coming to the PlayStation Plus catalog for, I think it was this month, and the main game that is going to be on the catalog for free is Deathloop. And we know that the Xbox guys are getting Deathloop later this year, and they've been saying that when Deathloop comes over to Xbox, since it's it's a first party game owned by Microsoft, it's going to be on Game Pass day one, right? They're all happy. They're like, they've been talking shit all this year. By the time we get Deathloop, we won't have to pay for it. It'll be day one on Game Pass. Let's go, right? So now that it's announced that the PlayStation Plus catalog is having Deathloop on there before they even get Deathloop, they're pretty fucking mad. I just posted some tweets from the Xbox community over there, and they are not happy that this game,
man.
This game into PlayStation Plus before they get it on Game Pass. And I'm like, bro, you're getting it on Game Pass when it comes. Why the fuck do you care that it's coming to the PlayStation Plus catalog, right? They're just mad at the principle. How disrespectful for a Microsoft owned game to show up on the PlayStation Plus subscription service before it shows up on the Microsoft subscription service. You guys should be ashamed of yourself, Microsoft. How could you let this happen?
Bitch, they bought it. They bought the rights. They can do whatever the fuck they want to do with them. They bought the rights. And here's the other thing.
They made the deal. I mean,
just like those idiots who were calling Kojima a traitor because Death Stranding's going to be on Game Pass.
Yeah, that's one of the tweets. Yeah. Look at one of the tweets this time. Y'all getting Death Stranding.
Dude, calm your tits. When you get to the point where you are like steaming mad that somebody got a free video game, check the mirror, calm your tits, sit the fuck down.
So stupid.
That's what they're mad about now, right? And that's what Carl's was saying. Everything they expect everything to come to Game Pass, and understandable in regards to Deathloop. But this is like a different scenario where like they're not mad that it's coming to Game Pass because we know it will. They're mad at the fact that it came to PlayStation Plus before it came to Game Pass. Like you guys are trying to find something to get mad about every day.
Yeah, want to be outraged. Yeah.
This only matters to people who are using it as ammo. Other than that,
you are completely right.
Yeah, it is for the console.
No. If you care about this, you're outing yourself as like a fucking.
Yeah, you're most definitely outing yourself as this for it being ammo because you know exactly what they would have said had this not come out on PlayStation Plus. Like what I said they were going to say. We got it on Game Pass and we didn't have to pay anything. You guys had to pay full price for it. They don't have that ammo anymore. And now
they just had their ammo taken. Now they're crying like bitches.
Yep.
Crazy.
By the way, other console war related stuff. Fucking dumb. We got to talk real quick. Lies of P, right? There's actually console war nonsense going on with this game is multi-platform, right? But coming to Game Pass, right? So so the Xbox guys are like, oh man, we got Lies of P, you motherfuckers. Then the Xbox, the opponent's like, that game's gonna be trash. Fuck that game. But for a fact if the roles were reversed, it'd be a different story. If Lies of P was coming exclusively to PlayStation Plus, we got this game. The same dude shitting on it, and then the same dude's praising would be shitting on it. These guys don't care about games. Bro, they just care about the lore.
That's what happened with Stray, which is crazy because it's like it's just a game about a cat, and the Xbox guys are flipping. You guys are playing a game about a stupid cat. What are you bragging about? Like, and then I think when they announced Wolong Fallen Dynasty, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be there day one.
Of course you are.
Oh yeah, most definitely, right?
Well, how could I said, not? Yo, this looks like a Riku game. We said that
game is a fucking Riku son. Let's fucking go, baby! But it's coming day one to Game Pass, and all the Xbox guys are like, "Let's go, Game Pass." The thing is, they treat games that come to Game Pass like it's an that's like the new exclusive.
Yeah,
they don't argue about exclusives anymore. We argue about what's coming to our subscription service, and do they have it? We got it for free, and you guys paid for it. Nah, boo boo.
You know, there's a whole conversation there about whether that means Microsoft is succeeding, because the whole sense of the conversation is changing.
Yeah. No, you're correct about that. They definitely changed the narrative. Like, for if you're a console, the only type of exclusives left are Nintendo exclusives and console exclusives. Those are the only ones left, because first party PlayStation exclusives they're coming to PC. Xbox have been putting all of their shit on PCs. It's only console exclusives and Nintendo exclusives. They're the only type of exclusives left, and they're not really worth like bragging about because they're few and far in between. So it's this is the new thing to argue about: is what does my subscription have that your subscription doesn't have yet?
So still, it's all fucking stupid. Here, while I got the chance to say it, if you flex it over indie games, you a bitch.
Insane. Crazy. You know what's crazy, man? Back on the Xbox 360, I remember they were bragging about Castle Crashers, which is worth bragging about. Great game. But they were bragging about indies way back then. Crazy.
Yep. Nope,
But remember the same Xbox guys were crapping on PlayStation 4 in the beginning because it only had a
Indie Station.
Yeah,
remember they called it Indie Station?
I remember that. So what happened? Mm-hmm. So again, they only like indie games when it's on their platform. Mm-hmm. You know,
and now they call it with that PlayStation 5 increase. Now they're calling it the Inflation Station. I'm like, Lord have mercy, the Inflation Station.
That's a good one, though.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
Oh man! All right, moving on here. Speaking about Game Pass, Microsoft has confirmed that Call of Duty will indeed be coming to Game Pass. But it is also going to be coming to PlayStation at the same day. So PlayStation guys will not be left out at the moment.
No, they can pay for it. I hear PlayStation fans love paying for things.
Yeah. I wonder how yeah, they do. We're proud to pay $70 for this game. You know? Are they going to say that then?
Oh, yeah. But you're not supporting the developers of this game.
Keep that energy.
Oh yeah, we support the developers, so we buy the game. You fucking cheap Xbox. You know that's coming. You know
I don't know why. I don't know why when it comes to these subscription service, they act like they're getting it for free. You're paying a subscription service. You're paying something, motherfucker. Right? You're obviously not paying. You know, you're obviously getting a discount because you're not paying for everything individually. You're saving money. But let's not. I don't know. I just don't understand the rhetoric behind it. I got it for free. No, you're paying a subscription service.
It's insane.
It's like you're paying for fucking Netflix. I didn't watch this movie for free. I paid for Netflix. They keep on increasing it every fucking year.
Yeah. I mainly threw the story in there for Adam, but no Adam, so no.
I don't know. You know, I get to
gotta have something.
Got to play with that. I get all my goodies in there. You know.
All right, man. Let's move on to some more interesting shit.
Tony,
what's up?
I was curious. It'd be a better segue if we skip a couple of stories to one that'll be fairly quick. Also,
you know what? Because I don't really care about this one. I just want somebody to explain this to me.
I wanted Adam to be here for this one.
Yeah, I know. So did I. Let's talk about it. Microsoft confirms Xbox Game Pass Friends and Family plan. Okay, can someone explain what's beneficial about this? Actually, and am I asking that because I don't have friends or family to share with? You know what I'm saying?
You're probably asking that because you don't have friends or family.
You know what I'm saying?
I got something to say about that. I
can explain it real quick to Tony. Yo, we can get a Throwdown and we can buy a game and then all play it. We get a Throwdown friends and family account, and like if you buy a game, we can all own it. Or if I buy a game, you can all own it.
No, I get it, but here's and I know this is gonna sound stupid because it's a digital game, no one owns it. I'd rather buy my own shit. You know?
Yeah, you're an adult with a fucking job, man. Remember back in the day, like you had a crew. Like if you had a
that's the thing. I'm an adult. I could buy my own shit.
Yeah, but to a lot of gaming consumers, I'm
talking about me. Explain to me why I need this. Why I should care.
No. Well, here's the better angle to take it is if you care about Game Pass, then you should care about this service. If you don't, then it's irrelevant.
Oh yeah, I don't care. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Thank you, Carlos. You explained it perfectly. There you go.
For someone like me, though.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, finish up, Carlos. You got it.
Just real quick. For people like me, for Adam and Brett, I feel like this will be a good service. Like we can share the same account, and we'll pay cheaper than $15 a month if we get 4 people to do it. So that's the benefit of doing that. So instead of me paying $15 a month plus tax to get for Game Pass, I could probably pay less and still do the same things that I would normally do.
So here's what I have to say about that. We all know the obvious reason why this is coming?
No. What's the obvious reason?
Everyone has family plans these days.
No, yeah. But in regards to gaming, the only one that had a family plan was Nintendo. I feel like the main reason why this family plan is coming to Xbox is because they're obviously going to eventually raise the price of Game Pass eventually. And I feel like when they do raise the price of Game Pass, they have the family plan to let niggas know, well, even though we increased the price, you can go ahead and take advantage of our new family plan and hook up with your niggas. And you know, you guys are doing the whole family plan thing. So it's like they raise the price. You're going to get mad, but then they're going to say, go on the family plan. And you're like, oh, it's technically cheaper than what it was before they raised the price. Everybody wins, right? Come on now. We know this is what I think is actually going to happen. And then I do eventually think PlayStation is going to do the same thing too. They're going to make a family plan. Then they're going to increase the PlayStation Plus. This is what's going to happen. You heard it on you heard it here on episode 400 first. They're gonna be here on episode 445 where they increase fucking Game Pass or whatever, and you're gonna see everyone screaming on the internet, and then you're gonna see people who are defending it saying, "Go on the family plan, bro." You heard it here on 400.
Oh shit!
This is what people are gonna be bitching about on the internet a couple years from now.
Well, I think you are 100% correct, and you know what Xbox justification will be for that price increase? Oh, well, we got a whole bunch of games out now.
Oh yeah,
since every game they have is supposedly coming next year. Supposedly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Game Pass is a better deal than it ever has been before. Since this is the case, we have decided that the value for the service should reflect that as well. So we will be increasing the price. But we have the family plan for you to take advantage of if you feel that this isn't worth your time.
Yo, Rico, have you been working on that exit? That's pretty good.
I don't know. I just fucking pulled it out of my ass. But so something Phil Spencer was gonna say in the video or whatever.
Well, yeah, I always assumed that the Game Pass was gonna raise its price because I feel like $15 is pretty cheap for what their roadmap is in terms of releasing all these games, especially after the Activision acquisition.
I demand to pay more.
Yeah. We pay more for our subscription, you motherfuckers. Our shit is better because we pay more. Watch.
Yep.
You know. But yeah, that's cool. You know, you want to link up with your friends and shit, get some Game Pass on. You know, especially if they jack up that price. You know.
Yeah, man. It's gonna happen, people. We all know it's gonna happen. Even if this family plan wasn't a thing, Game Pass was going to increase eventually. So I guess we're in the better timeline. At least we're in the timeline that we have an option to go on the family plan when they inevitably increase it. I guess that's one way to look at it.
Yeah. I wonder if it's going to hurt them like it hurt Netflix. You know? It's like there's fewer people subscribing. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody can just jump on one fucking account.
It really depends on what the time frame is whenever they announce this, because if they announce it when there's no games like today, then it's going to be no good. But if they do it after like Call of Duty or something like that, it might be a easier pill to swallow for a lot of people.
Now you
Starfield.
Now you can share your lack of games with up to 5 friends.
Yeah. Share 5 games with 5 friends.
All right. Lack of games.
All right. What's next here? Oh, we got to talk about this. So Sony, this next part hurts. Sony and Tencent, they bought 30% of FromSoftware.
Fuck you.
tell me how you really feel, bruh.
Get the fuck away from my series. You leave it alone. Keep your dirty goddamn hands out of that shit. I'm not happy about either of you. Shoot.
I don't understand what's going on here. You know, like, did they partner up to buy it? Like, how did this go down? I'm asking a question.
I don't know.
I honestly don't know. I haven't really been looking into this.
I suspect
they bought a bunch of stocks.
Yeah, they just bought a bunch of stocks. So just, Sony had already owned stock.
But
they
why
just
is everybody lumping them together? Like, so Sony and Tencent bought 30%.
Because it's a nice
there's probably
it's like 16% and 14. Tencent got 16%. Sony bought 14%. It was a very large acquisition of stocks. Don't get me wrong. It's one of those, like, do you know what a hostile takeover is?
Oh no, yeah, I know. No, I'm just asking why are all the reports lumping them together? Didn't they just buy them separately? The stocks?
They bought them separately, but together it adds up to 30%. That's a nice round, short, punchy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. So check it out. Yeah. Sony bought 14% and Tencent bought 16%, which is 30. I'm rounding it off, but you know what I'm saying.
There's probably a big seller, someone that owned a lot of bulk of the percentage of the company that sold, and those were the best bidders, and they sold to them, and that's where we are right now.
Yeah, so right here, Kodokawa still owns 69%. They're the original owners, I guess.
Yo, Rich, you're gonna say something?
Yeah.
So, Carlos, what you said is the logical explanation. The fanboy explanation of this particular story, and from the writing standpoint of the people writing these news stories, is that they want to give you the perception that Sony could not afford to buy FromSoftware on their own, so they got some help. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Hilarious.
Yeah, the what's it called? What are they called? The Kadokawa company.
Yeah,
they own the majority of FromSoftware, so they have to willingly sell these shares of the company in order to give control to someone else. And obviously they haven't done that. They love all the bank they're making from Elden Ring. So so someone else. I don't know if it was still the Kadokawa company that sold part of it, or someone else that had a big share of the company that sold. But
yeah, that's what I want to know. Did they sell it, or did another company go, we don't want this shit no more?
They may have sold a portion of it. Who knows what their financial situation is? But now things change. Like, even though they own a majority, you now have given Tencent and Sony a seat at the table, right?
Yeah.
They can now participate in board decisions and all that stuff. So then it's be interesting to see how the course of the company changes now. They have a voice in their kind of executive decision making.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Just a line I caught here, which is interesting, and I'm reading this from Washington Post. In the announcement, Kadokawa explained that the three companies had operated a, quote, strategic alliance in the anime game fields, end quote, since October 2021. Kadokawa said these recent investments would be used to further expand FromSoftware's expansion into the global market and strengthen the triumvirate formed with Tencent and Sony. So they're the three main entities. Interesting.
So this makes it sound like Kadokawa sold its shares.
Yeah,
and they're like, it's like, we're raising funds for, quote unquote, to invest in our projects, but who knows what they're going to use that money for? Probably the Yakuza.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we won't know the ramifications of this until later, but anytime I see Tencent show up, I'm like, oh boy, here we go.
You want to know my tinfoil hat?
What's up?
Oh, I think at least part of this was a bid to make sure that FromSoftware never got acquired by Microsoft.
That's a good one.
Yeah. No, you might be right about that. All right. Speaking about acquisitions, the other one that worries me, NetEase, they acquired Quantic Dream, which is interesting because they had already been acquired by Epic Games. who Tencent kind of owns.
Yeah, they own the chunk.
It's like shit. So what the hell happened with this one? Did Epic Games say, we don't want this David Cage guy around?
No, it wasn't Epic Games. It wasn't Epic Games though. It was another Asian studio that bought them. It wasn't. I may have been Tencent. I don't know, but that's why I asked it before. I'm like in our chat.
It's the second time they're bought.
Yeah, but the thing about it wasn't Epic Games though. It was another Asian studio that bought them.
Probably was Tencent then.
Either Tencent or whatever the other one was.
Well, Epic Games isn't an Asian company, so
but I think owns Epic.
Technically,
right?
are.
Yeah,
they own a percentage.
Yeah.
I don't know
Tencent
how much.
is practically Epic's practically beholden to Tencent at this point. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just like John Cena is to China, but that's a whole other story.
Tencent. Well, also remember that that also Sony has a stake in Epic Games as well. Remember, they also made a few deals and bought some stock in them too. So
they really want to take. I think they're really trying to get their foothold in regards to the creation of games under Unreal Engine 5 more than any other studio can early on. But we'll see how that plays out. They did splurge a lot of money to them for it.
By the way, Tencent, Epic Games, the majority of Epic Games is owned by Tim Sweeney. Tencent owns 40%, which is a huge chunk. Sony, they own pretty much 5% of the company of Epic. Yo, man, where Microsoft at?
Oh, this is okay.
Activision.
Thank you, Game Informer, for clarifying. NetEase first invested in Quantic Dream 3 years ago before buying them. So it was probably NetEase the entire time. He was like bought a bunch of shares or whatever,
So they bought a bunch of shares, and then Tencent bought that.
No. It was NetEase the whole time. It seems.
Okay.
And NetEase was like, "Yeah, I'll put a little more." You know what? Just give me the whole thing.
Just give us the whole thing.
You know, this shit's good.
I'll take it.
You know what it is though? Is like you guys like
it's like Torrance. You keep dipping that dirty finger in there. Just give me the whole thing.
Just give me the thing. Give me the thing.
But, I'll be honest. I don't know if this is that big of a deal because Quantic Dream, they've made some decent games. Beyond.
That's not a big deal. It's just very interesting.
Beyond what is it? Beyond Two Souls,
Beyond Two Souls.
Heavy Rain, and
Detroit Become Human,
and Fahrenheit before that. For those games.
Yeah, Fahrenheit was
had a different name in America though. I think.
Yeah, it was called
Prophecy.
Indigo
Prophecy. Yeah.
Indigo Prophecy.
Yeah. No, this is just interesting to me.
Well, why this is interesting is because they are working on the Star Wars game.
That's right.
So I'm pretty sure they want a piece of whatever comes from that.
That's a good point. NetEase is probably, these motherfuckers gonna make money. No, we buy buy the whole thing.
Yeah. Now we know John Boyega isn't gonna be in this one.
Oh man, China's racist. All right, let's move it on here.
People try to make believe they ain't, but they are
racist as shit. They try to blame the Rona on Africans in their country. Ain't that something? But we're not going to talk about that. Okay, so earlier this week, it was leaked that the new Assassin's Creed game will be called Assassin's Creed Mirage and will go back to basics. As usual, when it comes to Assassin's Creed leaks, this was accurate. I don't know what it is with this franchise. They always leak and it's always correct.
Ubisoft is literally a leaking boat. They literally leak information all over the place.
Yeah. So, we don't know too much about this. We're actually going to get more details on September 10th. They're going to have a special thing for this. The game's called Assassin's Creed Mirage. It's going to take place in Baghdad. And they said they're going back to basics. If they go back to basics, yes. Because I've already said Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla were too much. When you have Brett Murdoch saying there's too much video game in a video game, that's saying something, So
real quick, I gotta interject.
Shit down,
I gotta interject before it's too late.
What you interjecting? Man, you interjecting stuff?
I got to interject for some jokes. Manny, you know what else is a leaking boat?
What's a leaking boat?
Skull and Bones.
Ubisoft, you know. So yeah, I just want to toss that in because it's interesting because I've been missing old school Assassin's Creed. Missing that, and by old school I mean literally everything before Origins. Because with Origins, that's when they went crazy. And I hope they get rid of the RPG bullshit, get rid of the crazy million side quests, bring it back. I still want to keep them. I still want them to keep the open world, but pare it back. Let's get something like the Ezio trilogy, the highlight of that series.
Yeah, maybe they won't get a guy that's as boring as a post as some of those protagonists are.
And let's be real, it's only the Assassin's Creed 2 and Black Flag that we really care about.
Yeah, that's the trilogy and Black Flag. Yeah. And
Hatham was cool too.
Yeah, although I like me some Syndicate, man. That was a good game.
The Syndicate.
It was Syndicate. Yeah.
Connor can go fuck himself.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Man, Connor.
So Ubisoft Forward, isn't that the name of the show they had at E3?
Sounds like it.
September still summer. Good shit. Rich, you have any thoughts on this, man?
Yeah, I was gonna say. So you put a lot of time into Valhalla, correct?
I got the fucking platinum like an idiot, but I'm gonna explain why I got the platinum because it was faster to get the platinum to get 100% in everything in the game. And I was like losing my mind, I'm like 120 hours and shit. I'm like, let me go! I don't want to play this anymore. But so then I looked at the trophies. I'm like, oh shit! I could get the platinum. That'll take less time. So I just did that instead. So yeah, I suffered through that for 130 hours. Here's the thing: the game is good. That's why I kept playing because it was a good game. But Jesus Christ, it never ended. Like man.
Well, I just wanted to let you know that the rumor is the character in that game is the character in this game. So I guess it's who was the character
Eivor?
that No, not Eivor. It's this other character she interacts with. I think it's that guy they introduced earlier that's a part of the Assassins group or something. One of those characters is the main character of this other game.
Shit. It's that. I'm trying not to spoil nothing, but it's that dude. Yeah. Now that's interesting. And that dude specifically, in the last 3 games, he shows up through all of them because he's been around. That's cool. That's cool, But yeah, give me the classic Assassin's Creed, man. That'll be great. This official is real, But here's my question though: whatever happened to that Assassin's Creed Infinite they were talking about? Remember that was supposed to be the giant, like all-encompassing game. Did they just scrap that?
Oh no, I think that's still coming. Because they can't. They have to have an Assassin's Creed. It feels like every other year or every other 2 years or something.
Gotta have something.
That's still in development, but this is I think a little side. This is something a little bonus because I think the rumor is this was supposed to be DLC for Valhalla, and then they decided let's just make this a standalone game. So, but we'll have to wait and find out.
At what point did they decide we've had enough game? This should be DLC.
That's how you know it's too much, man. Real quick, one subset goes, I just want Assassin's Creed in feudal Japan. You got that already. It's called Ghost of Tsushima. You got it already, man. That's as good as you're gonna get, bro. And the game's
he wants him to wear a hood.
Yeah, and he wants to hear the hawk, Oh, man.
Yeah, and he wants to climb to the top of a pagodas to synchronize his map.
Yes, and baboon statues and stuff.
Well, I mean, I will say this: one subset can bring up a good point because Ghost of Tsushima isn't in mainland Japan.
That is true. Yo, man, you being prejudiced against the islanders, man.
It's the island of
Dylan with Damien.
Oh no!
Oh man! All right, and the last story, and I threw this one here specifically for Riku, so you could explain this to me. So they released a new Sonic Frontiers trailer, right? And the common thing is like, oh, this is a trailer they should have released from the beginning. So doing my due diligence. I watched the original trailer and I watched this, and I'm like, I'm seeing the same shit. So explain this to me, Riku. The only difference is like, oh, in Sonic Adventure, blah, blah, blah. You know, you got a narrator this time or something, you know, but I'm like, it's still the same shit, you know? So explain this to me, please.
In regards, when you say the first trailer, you're talking about the one that IGN showed where he's like walking slow and all of that stuff?
Yeah. I'm like, you know, what's the difference here?
I don't know. I feel like in the one where he was walking slow, they didn't show too much. They didn't show like in regards to like the speed that you should be going. And
hold on a second, maybe that wasn't for because the trailer I remember was him going around fast, you know, like always in those locked lines, like all the 3D games, and then him doing combos. I'm like, what the fuck is this? That's the trailer I remember. The original trailer. I guess that wasn't the original trailer.
Those are actually what's interesting about those is those are actually special levels. They're not actually the game. It's weird.
Yeah, but anyway, Riku, that's what I remember seeing first.
Yeah, they're doing a similar layout to what Sonic Adventure 1 did, where, you know, you had your, you know, open area and then you go to a specific location in the open area and you have an action stage in there, if you remember how Sonic Adventure did it. But the reason I say that this was a better trailer, because they did explain it and they did show a bit more from a gameplay side. Additionally, there's one thing that people have been complaining about these modern Sonic games, and the reason I haven't played them since 2006 was the fact that it felt like a glorified temple run, where it's just a straight line. And in regards to what the most recent gameplay that have been getting showcased, a lot of the stuff that looks like it's on the rails really isn't. You know how if you played a majority of 3D Sonic games, let's say when you run across a specific path and there's like a line of rings, usually when you get to that area where the line of rings are, there is like this invisible on the rails pathway that Sonic follows the rings in, and you as the player aren't really doing anything but pressing forward. Right. But as far if you look closer at the details in regards to this one in specific, you are actually controlling how much Sonic is steering and turning on majority of the turns in the game. Like when I showed you in regards to you having to go into the controls and customize how aggressive you want his steering controls to be. I'm assuming for me, I when I first start playing the game, I'm probably gonna sit there and mess around to see what I'm most comfortable with. I probably recommend everyone do that to see what best fits them, because it does seem when you get into the game that you're going to have to start doing a lot of that stuff manually now, and a lot of people are happy that there's a lot less that isn't on the rails as before. Like certain parts where he's like jumping off of the ramp, and you know he like goes through like one of those little rainbow rings and whatnot. There is a lot of more control in regards to what you need to do to get to that ring in the sky. It's not on the rails. Like you don't necessarily just fly off of the ramp and go straight through the ring. You might have to steer a little bit to the left or to the right, and they said it has more branching paths than the previous levels. In regards to, I remember, I think I heard one of the most recent episodes when you guys were talking about Sonic Frontiers, and I think Manny mentioned the fact that some of the stages were reused. As apparently, in regards to the story, they were talking about the fact that it has something to do with the fact that Sonic is going through these things called the cyberspace levels, and it's supposed to be some sort of, obviously a MacGuffin that apparently these are pocket dimensions that are pulling from Sonic's previous adventures and memories. So that's the reason why he's going through specific stages. But
there's sort of like a greatest hits episode.
It's basically Sonic Generations 2, But they said in regards to the levels that they are paying homage to, they're saying that this is how Sonic remembers the stage when he went through it. So it's not one-to-one the same, but it's a more romanticized version of that stage. It's how Sonic, it's Sonic, gotta go fast, yeah. So he remembers this place being a little more crazy than it probably was, and that is what is being depicted in these versions of the stages. But there are similar,
It should just be blurry.
Because he's running so damn fast.
He was running so fast. Yeah, it's just blurry.
Yeah, that'll be funny. But I don't know. Like I said, in regards to like the I'm talking about a skill tree and all that stuff, I'm interested because I was always someone that was interested to see what Sonic can do outside of speed, even though that's what he's all about. I want to see more what he could do with the spin dash and the homing attack. And
he has more combat moves too. Like he's got kicks and punches in there too.
Kicks and punches, and he has a parry and whatnot. I'm interested to see how fluent they can get that, because obviously they didn't know what the fuck they were doing when they did it in Unleash, right? But we'll see.
They pretty much made him God of War. He's Kratos. His arms are Kratos's blades of chaos.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do with that, but I'm still looking forward to it. Like I was telling Carlos, the only thing I don't like is the fact that it comes out one day before God of War. What the fuck are you guys doing over there at Sega? Everybody moved away from God of War, but you guys doubled down. Want to be right beside God of War. It is what it is. That's the only thing that irks me, but I'm still looking forward to the game.
Is there like cross-pollination between those fan bases?
I mean, I wouldn't consider me. I don't think there's a lot of me.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Everyone that I talk to that is looking forward to Sonic Frontiers, they are also looking forward to God of War. So I would say it's probably more than you think, but it's probably not a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in there.
Yeah, see, Brett is another one of them. But like I said, there's
Brett's like, man, I want to play that Sonic game and God of War.
Yeah,
not that excited.
I'm probably gonna game juggle them.
I have a question for you, Riku.
Yeah.
Which platform do you think this game's gonna sell most on? Because I have my own theory.
That is a good question, because I could see it selling pretty well on Xbox, only because of the fact that Xbox has has this backwards compatibility, so you can play Sonic Generations, Sonic Unleashed, and apparently the backwards compatibility on those games work really fucking well. They run at a solid 60. They have Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 on Xbox Live that you could play on your Series X. So in regards to the outside of PC, that is technically the platform that has the most 3D Sonic games at its disposal. So I would assume that the Xbox guys over there would want to play it. But who knows? Here's the thing about Xbox guys. You know what they will say? This Sonic Frontiers coming to Xbox Game Pass day one? Because if it's not, I don't give a fuck. Like, it's like November outside of Call of Duty. What do you have to look forward to? Go ahead and fucking pick up the game. But to answer your question, Tony,
the answer is God of War.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I just don't know.
I'll give you my answer.
Just hear it.
I think it'll sell the most on the platform that, as an old school gamer, a Sonic game shouldn't even be on. I think it's going to sell the most on Switch.
It's going to look like shit on Switch, though.
It is going to look like every game looks like shit on Switch. So that's not.
I keep on forgetting that it is even coming to Switch.
I think it's going to sell the most on Switch because the motherfuckers going to be like, "Oh, this is Sonic Breath of the Wild. Let's go."
I could see that.
That's my prediction.
I can see that.
And I don't think 3D Sonic fans really care about graphics. They just want to play a Sonic.
I think a lot of PlayStation fans are too refined for a 3D Sonic game.
Great poupon gamers.
I think it'll personally.
Right?
We are premium gamers.
Yes, right.
If this game doesn't even cost $70, we will not pay for it.
I think it'll do pretty well on Xbox because I feel like that's kind of the spiritual successor to
the Dreamcast.
The Dreamcast, exactly. Like, it just feels like that's the lineage, the same way, like, certain games, you're like, well, this just feels like a PlayStation game. It's always been on there. I play my Souls games on PlayStation. Why? I don't know, man. It just feels like
the Demon Souls. Demon Souls is PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah, exactly. It just feels kind of the thing that was made for. But I think this thing would really hit its stride if it made it to Game Pass, because I think there's so many people on the fence about it.
If Sega knows what's good for them, they should put it on Game Pass day one.
Yeah, no, they should. That's kind of my idea. Is like, for Sega, this would be a great idea to put on Game Pass because they need to kind of revitalize their reputation. And with so many people on the fence, if they actually put out a good game and people play it, it would be hugely beneficial to them just as a company.
You know what's weird about Sonic Frontiers and Sonic Team and Sega in regards to something they publicly said? They specifically said that they are trying to get good reviews, which is like, you would assume that any company making a video game is trying to get good reviews. You know, especially when some of them, you know, their fucking raise relies on that fact, you know? But they don't come out and like publicly say, we're trying to get good reviews. No, you just try to make a good game, and that good game will get good reviews. So it's like, for you to say you're trying to get good reviews, well, in order to get good reviews, you got to make a good game. So it's like, it feels really weird for them to come out and say that.
I think most games aren't trying to get good reviews or be a good game. I think they're trying to make money, and therein lies the problem.
That too. There are games that they just want to make money. But I mean, I feel like they're all three of those things are interconnected, right? If you want to make money off of your game got to be good, right? I mean, if your game.
Well, I agree with what Riku's saying, because the thing to chase is that everything follows, like, you get a good story and you engage your audience in the right way, and then everything else follows, right? You don't chase a score.
Like Elden Ring, for example. Elden Ring is a fucking good game. They just went out and made a fucking good game. Everything else followed in line, right? It sold well. It did well in the reviews. All of that shit. But you'll never hear FromSoftware coming out and saying, we're making a game to get good reviews. Like, that shit comes. So it's like, for them to come out and say that, it just seems very odd to me. Especially since we know Sonic hasn't gotten good reviews in fucking like 2 decades. So it's like, I'm very interested to see what the hell this like lands on Metacritic.
Yeah, because I think the last game that was like almost universally praised was Sonic Mania.
Yeah, that's the highest rated Sonic game. It's like 91.
Yeah,
for like Switch. And I think the second highest was like Sonic Adventure 2 with like an 89 or some shit.
Damn.
Yeah. Mania was made by a fan too.
Yep, it was. Ain't that something?
Crazy.
All right, man. So that's gonna be it for episode 400. A legendary episode, I would say. You know,
yeah.
I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Lots of good stuff. You guys keep us going, man. You know, we do it for you, and all that good stuff. I want to thank Rich and Riku for being on. You know, making it a great episode. Rich, plug your stuff, please, man.
First and foremost, thanks for having me on. I look forward to seeing 400 more and 400 more after that.
Oh, shit.
Throwdown. Sure.
Yeah, it'll probably happen, man. Thanks for being on, man. We're old ass gamers and shit, you know?
Yeah, so as for me, my name on Twitter is Rich Bailey Jr. The coalition.com with the K. Carlos, Adam Vale, and I will be continuing to cover Tales of the Walking Dead, Carlos's most favorite show of 2022. So, yeah, definitely look forward to the I Am Negan podcast. And, of course, I'll still be covering Power and the other shows with Gary and Dana. And as for gaming stuff, you know, we are coming up into the holiday season, so there's quite a bit of stuff you'll see on the website and on the YouTube soon. So stay tuned for all of that.
I'm looking forward to that because there's no games, man. I'm thirsty. You know? All right, Riku, man, what you got?
Rikus1 on Twitter. Thank you guys for having me. Like he said, man, anytime we hit a fucking goal point, man, hit your boy up. I'm gonna be here, throwing it down with the throwdown.
Oh, you already know, man.
Thank you.
Yeah,
listen and whatnot.
Yeah, man. Oh, don't you have a podcast too, Riku?
Yeah, I have a little bi-monthly podcast, HPMP podcast, mainly focused on JRPGs, and we sometimes cover stuff outside of it if it's big enough. You could check out Shadow Elite on Twitter. He is the host over there. We had a very crazy episode like a week and a half ago, talking about Machoke from Pokemon choking people out and whatnot. Some crazy stuff happening over there.
You're gonna be talking about the Xenogears,
the Xenoblades. Yeah, we go
or whatever fucking
Xenogears.
Xenoblade. Tony, everybody has a spiritual successor now, man. Everybody.
Yeah. I showed my age. I'm like Xenogears, right?
Xenogears,
or Xenosaga, you know.
Xenosaga is Xeno everything, man. But we're talking about those. I think we're gonna have one this coming Sunday. We're gonna talk more about the Xenoblades because that game is big as fuck. I'm still not done with it. 100+ hours in.
That's what's up, man. Also, for you guys listening, this was episode 400 of Throwdown, but we will also be celebrating episode 400 of Throwdown Your Questions on Sunday, people. So you know what that means, man. It's Carlos's favorite time of the year, AMA special. Ask us anything but video games. You know, those are always fun shows. So start submitting your questions now in the Throwdown Discord. There's the room for it. Throw down your questions. Keep it to just anything outside of gaming. You know, those are always fun. And 2 questions because we're not trying to be here all night. You know, we got to work. You know, make that money.
Yep.
Do any of you guys want to say anything to the fans?
I mean, 400 episodes, man. We never thought we would get that far. And, we did it. You didn't do it twice, but we literally 2 generations of this sort of podcast starting in 2012,
Yeah, man.
And then the second iteration starting was in 2016. No, it wasn't right. It was 2016. 2014. So, crazy stuff. And,
in 2 years, we're going to be doing this for 10 years. This specific version but we have been doing Throwdown in general for 10 years, but non-stop. Yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Episode 500.
Episode 500. It's crazy. It's crazy to think that we've gotten this far with the show. And then I want to thank everybody for just to staying with us. Going, with our journey to, the from the STFU Play to the Coalition. And then also, when we did our little transition from YouTube over to Twitch for live episodes, all of our, all the people that are, that just were the regulars and all the people that were doing comments and all that stuff. It's great to have you guys, here with us and just listening to our little conversations, things that we sort of used to do, when we were just hanging out. Me and Tony, Chris, and Adam whenever he was around, and just sort of extended, to all of our friends, to Brian and Brett, and obviously Riku, and everybody else. So it's just. Thanks a lot, guys.
Good stuff, man. By the way, next week we would have surpassed Warzone in terms of episode count. Ain't that something?
You should call that one the Warzone.
The Warzone.
Yeah, because they did 400. That was the last episode, right? Riku?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I remember Torrance was giving it a shit when we started Throwdown. He's like, you motherfuckers better not stop doing this. Because everybody was doing podcasts over there. They do like 2 or 3 episodes and then stop doing them. So I was like, all right, motherfucker. So by the time we ended our stint over there, we had done more podcasts than all the other people's podcasts combined. Now we're doing more episodes than Warzone,
Mm-hmm.
That's something. So, go ahead.
That sounds like a call out for Torrance and Hip Hop Gamer to come on this show next week.
Yes, that's the plan. Hopefully, I tried to get it for this one, but Torrance was being a troll. I'm just gonna call him like, Torrance, what the fuck? This shit is crazy.
And they'll be like, who this?
Who this? You got some sweet peas and peppers. Remember Torrance used to do that shit. First, you get the turkey and you baste it with honey. Then you get the sweet mashed potatoes. Oh man! All right. Anybody just want to say anything to the fans? We got Sunday, so we could do more of that stuff then too.
Yeah, man. Shout out to all the fans that always join in the chat, that are always bumping on the Discord. Shout out to Barry Burton, man. He's been holding it down for the longest and hooked it up with all the subscriptions. So appreciate that, Barry. And shout out to Mob Hits, who gave us a shout out earlier on the Discord, man. Always appreciate Mob Hits. And shout out to Fergus Mills.
And don't forget Kristen. For also holding it down with the chat as well.
Yeah, and shout out to Kristen and Chris's new baby. That's the first official Throwdown baby.
Throwdown baby. It's
and
wild,
and yeah, man. Manny mentioned all the, you guys have been doing it for a while. Me and Adam are the new guys, and we've been doing this for 6 years now.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Crazy. It's like band members and shit. Like, oh, that's the new guy. That motherfucker's been here for 30 years. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like Brian Johnson, the lead singer of AC/DC. He's like, that's the new guy. He's not Bon Scott. He's been there since 1980. He's not the new guy. Oh, man. But no, it's good stuff, man. The Throwdown family keeps it going, all right, let's wrap it up. We'll give you guys more shout outs on Sunday, man. The celebration has not stopped. It's our birthday week. Isn't that a thing? That's the birthday week, All right, so make sure you follow Throwdown on Twitch and Twitter. Join the Discord where the conversations and the rumors are always popping. We are on every podcast app on the planet. Throwdown Show, 2 words. Throwdown Show, you can find us. Throwdownshow.com to listen to past episodes. And if you have been watching us on YouTube and enjoyed the content, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and be hitting the bell to be notified of when our premieres go live. Links to everything located down below. Once again, I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and today I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
See you next time. Also, make sure to keep an eye on our Throwdown Twitter, because you might see some images from the PAX.
Dun, dun, dun. Chris Seeley.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Carlos Romero.
What a day.
Brett Murdoch.
It's been real.
Brian Manjoma.
See you later, people.
Riku-san 1, the only one.
Peace out, people.
And Richard Bailey Jr.
Take care, everybody.
All right, guys, we'll see you on Sunday. AMA special coming at you. Later.
See you later, guys.
Latest.
Deuces.